There you go, get him. There he goes, running. Running. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Get him, boy. Get him. He's caught in that tree. Oh, he got him. Get him, boy. Get him.
You know what time it is.
Welcome back to another episode of Get 'em Greg Fishing. I'm Greg Williams, and today I'm fishing with my father, Clyde P. Williams, for crappie. It's a mid-April day. The water temperature is in the low 70s, and the air temperature is in the mid to upper 70s. We're fishing out of Bear Creek Reservoir, which is in the Elgin community of Lancaster, South Carolina. Hopefully we'll catch them up today. Stay tuned. Bear Creek Reservoir is an artificial lake created to store water for Lancaster County. Although there is a 4.5-acre recreational park that is open to the public, the remaining portion of the land surrounding the lake is privately owned. Fishing is permitted at Bear Creek Park, where anglers regularly catch fish such as brim, catfish, crappie, and bass. The park is located at 1672 South Potter Road and is open from dusk to dawn and has a picnic shelter with tables that can be enjoyed by all. Boating access to the lake is only available from private owners who live along the lake. As a young boy, I could remember me and several of my friends fishing the old creek beds that were dammed to create the Bear Creek Reservoir. We would walk these creeks turning over rocks to find crawdads and would fish for brim with old bread that our moms were going to throw out. The reservoir is only about 1.5 miles from my childhood home. As construction on the dam began, my Uncle Jim brought his 4x4 truck over and decided he would take everyone mudslinging in the creek beds. Me, along with several of my cousins, were so excited. He ultimately decided to take the adults first, with plans on dropping the adults off to pick up the kids later. We watched with excitement as he took off with the adults and anxiously awaited his return, knowing we would be next. We waited for what seemed like several hours for everyone to come back, but they never did. Finally, as the sun was setting, everyone came back walking down the old dirt road that ran in front of my parents' house. Needless to say, my mom wasn't too happy considering her clothes were wet and muddy. She said that while they were mudding, the truck got stuck in the creek and that they had to call a tow truck to remove it from the creek. Myself and my cousins were all so disappointed. Until today, we still haven't got to take a ride in that truck. Crappie can be finicky fish to catch. In order to successfully catch them, there is a combination of things you must figure out, including the depth of water they are in, the trolling speed at which your bait presentation is best, and also the color combinations of your lures that you will be using. Today we are trolling for crappie using the spider rigging method. The spider rigging is a tactic that allows anglers to cover a lot of water while offering multiple presentations to the crappie. A typical setup involves 6 to 8 rods spread evenly across the front of the boat and the back of the boat. Each rod can be rigged with different jig lures and live bait combinations to match the crappie's appetite. Today we're using a 12 rod setup where I have 6 rods out in the front of the boat and my father Phil has another 6 rods out in the back of the boat. I typically stagger my rods with a 14-foot rod towards the bow of the boat, followed by a 12-foot rod, a 10-foot rod, and finally an 8-foot rod. In order to get your bait out into the water, you start by casting the 8-foot rod out, then the 10-foot rod, the 12-foot rod, and finally the 14-foot rod. Once you get a bite or you need to check your bait, simply reel the rod up, trying to keep the line in between the other lines to prevent you from tangling. Once you send your line back out, I typically sit the rod back into its holder and open the bail on the rod to let the line out to its desired length. If you notice, I have multiple colored lures laying on the floor of the boat beneath me. When we start the day off, we have several combinations and colors of plastic lures that we attached to each of the jig heads. As we caught the crappie, I made a mental note of the color of the lures that we were catching the most crappie on. If you notice, I am changing out all the jig heads to the fluorescent yellow jig, since that was the one that we were catching the most fish with. Another way of getting your lure back into the water is to put the line back into the water to where you originally retrieved it from. Then simply place the jig in the water, open the bail on your reel, and let the line out by moving your rod tip forward and backward, as I am currently doing in this video.
Look on the floor, you can see where I'm changing out jig heads. The ones that's been working the best today is that one and that one right there. This one here's been catching the most of them, but they're hitting those 2 colors right there is what they're doing today.
We were trolling between 1.0 miles an hour to 1.2 miles an hour and found that the fish were biting best between 20 to 23 foot of water. Earlier in the morning, the bite was best around 15 to 16 foot of water.
Yeah, it's nice in there, Clyde P. Show him back here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice one. Oh, I done got me one. Pin there. Oh, he pulling too. I bet it's either gonna be a real big crappie, gonna be a mangy catfish. No, it's a crappie. I see it. Oh yeah. He don't like being caught neither. Woo, this one's nice. This one, hey, get the net on that one. Grab him with this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a nice one. I believe that's the big one of the day right there. I believe that is definitely the big one of the day. Wow, that checker's healthy there, boy. Little spot right there has been a good one. That's where we caught them other ones just a few minutes ago. Those lime green jigs are paying off this morning. Ugh.
Having a good bait take not only will keep your bait alive, but it'll also keep your crappie alive as well. Rather than buying bags of ice to put on the fish during the day, simply pump fresh water into your live well and throw your crappies in there. They will stay alive as long as there is fresh water in the tank. I will keep the water in the tank until 10 minutes before I clean them. I then drain the tanks and wait for the fish to stop moving. This keeps the fish from jumping around and pricking your fingers as you pick them up.
Catfish. Yep, old mangy catfish.
Had a great day fishing for crappie today. Mid-April day. The weather was just absolutely gorgeous, mid-70s. We was able to put a few of them in the boat. We're going to go now clean them up. We'll have a fish fry with some buddies later on in the week. Till then, I'll catch you later.
Before you leave, be sure to check out our description page below. This page gives you a brief description of the video you are currently watching, along with the fishing gear we used during the filming of this video. Click onto the Show More link to view all of this information. In upcoming episodes, we'll begin a new segment where we test out products that are sent to us. If you would like your product to be featured on one of our upcoming episodes, our contact and shipping information is also included on this page. I want to thank you for watching our videos, and if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our channel to get notifications as to when our new videos are available. Meanwhile, here are a few more videos that I think you will like.